In my last tutorial, I showed you how I tested out Homemade Modern's bench. That's what you see to the left. But today we're going to focus on these electrical cords and trying to find a solution. I picked up this basket from HomeGoods and a little pot pan organizer, and that was going to be my first solution, but it just didn't look good with my office. So of course I had to DIY something. I grabbed my nail gun, sandpaper, tape, and wood glue, and then a couple of pieces of wood that I cut down, and I'm going to explain those measurements now because they're all going to vary for your space. You want two pieces that are going to be the sides of the table, so it'll be like how deep your shelf is. You want two longer pieces to be the length of what you want your table to be, and then a back piece, which will obviously fit over all of those four pieces that are connected to create a backing of the table. I really hope this is self-explanatory, but you connect the two longer pieces and the two side pieces to create a box. And I just used wood glue to do that, and then to hold it, because I didn't have clamps, I just used painter's tape. I went through and I wiped down all the excess wood glue popping out, and then I went ahead and nail gunned all of the seams together, essentially. You want your back piece to cover those pieces entirely and line up on all the edges, so make sure that that's golden. Then add your wood glue and nail gun it directly into the back. Truth be told, I wanted to leave this plain. I did not want to add a drawer because it was so pretty as is. But I am actually using this as a solution for the wires, like I mentioned before. So I want to be able to slide this pot pan holder in and use it as a DIY cord rack. But I also want to be able to cover it up and have the option to, work on them if need be, if like a technician comes over or something. But I didn't want to have a drawer because I feel like I wouldn't be able to get any ventilation through the bottom, like if I wanted to remove the drawer with the slider on it or not. So I decided to create more of a cover. I used a piece that was big enough to cover the opening hole, and then just some side pieces for support. It didn't really matter the size, to be honest. It's just something to be able to hook into, and voila. This definitely looks gorgeous as is, but I am going to go ahead and stain it to match my flooring in my office, but I am going to paint the face of the drawer, the faux drawer, white. Keep in mind you do not have to do this next step that I am doing, since I am utilizing it for a completely different reason than a nightstand or a side table. I went ahead and drilled holes through the bottom because I'm going to be able to feed the cord through it to conceal it more. It does get proper ventilation, so don't freak out. I've had this literally in my office for like a month and I've had no problems with anything. This is what we're working with right now. I actually did find two studs, thankfully, where I wanted to hang this side table. It worked out perfect, so I can just drill through the table, through the studs, into the wall, and it will secure it properly. Babe, baby, baby, can you help me real quick? The most tedious task for this DIY was actually feeding all the wires through and making sure that the boxes fit properly and that the ventilation had enough room on all of the sides so this didn't overheat. These wires were still a little too crazy, so I pinned them to the wall, but again, they were just too much for my liking. I ended up going back to my original idea with the basket, but I got a slimmer one, like a much skinnier one, to fit one tiny throw pillow and one tiny throw blanket to give the illusion that nothing is behind it. Last but not least, if you just think that it's not looking as chic as you want, just purchase hardware. I got this guy from Anthropologie and it totally made the DIY. To make this piece look more natural in my office, I added some HomeGoods decor on top, which I'm sharing with you guys next week along with the process of my office transformation. I hope that you guys enjoyed my take on a floating side table / nightstand, and I cannot wait to share my tips and tricks with you of this whole office space and how I created it. It's almost there, I promise.